So in Vanguard you need a lot of point blank kills for getting gold, diamond and atomic weapon camos in the game. So in this video I'm going to give you guys the best maps and game modes, the best class setup for this, and then the best tips and strategies for getting point blank medals really fast in Vanguard. I know this can be a very difficult challenge and a lot of people will struggle with it, but this video is going to hopefully help an awful lot. It's going to give you all the tips and everything you need to get this challenge done really easily. So don't fret, by the end of the video hopefully you should be able to get these done really fast, like you see I was getting in the gameplay. Now if you want to check out any other camo challenge guides like headshots, long shots, bloodthirsty medals, gold gun guides, anything like that, or leveling up weapons fast in order to unlock these camo challenges in the first place, I'll have a card for those videos and playlists on screen and also links in the description, so feel free to check them out on my channel. I'll also have timestamps in the description for this video for each part of it, but I do recommend sticking around until the end of the video so you don't miss out on any important tips. But if there is a specific part you want to jump to, obviously feel free to do that. And without further ado, let's get into the tips. So getting a point blank kill will count when you see the point blank medal pop up on screen. But in case anyone doesn't know, a point blank medal is when you get a kill where you're very close to the enemy, probably about 1 or 2 meters away as a max distance, and so you have to be almost touching the enemy with your weapon for it to count. Now for the Berserker camo challenge in Vanguard, you need 100 point blank kills with your weapon in order to complete that challenge when going for gold, diamond and atomic weapon camos. So you need 100. Obviously it's quite daunting and it can be extremely frustrating, but these tips should hopefully make it a lot easier. So let's first talk about the best game modes, the combat pacing settings, the maps, and then we'll talk about class setup and some useful tips towards the end of the video. So in terms of the best modes, you always want to be playing core modes as you have the most health and so you can get closer to enemies without getting shot easily and without dying. Some good modes specifically though are ones like domination, free-for-all, TDM, kill confirmed, patrol, those kind of ones, but I highly recommend you just keep playing only free-for-all mode at the moment, as this gives you more enemies on the map for a greater chance of getting close to people and getting those kills. Any mode will do really of those, but free-for-all I highly recommend is the best one to go for. Now while I'm in the process of making this video, Sledgehammer Games have actually released a new multiplayer playlist which is Das Haus 24/7. That's the very small map I was talking about. That's really good. So that might be just as good if not better than free-for-all for some of you guys. However, it's not always the best because sometimes you're not always given the highest combat pacing setting. There's not always the most players. So try it for you. It should work quite well, but if not, free-for-all is still a good option. But you know, definitely try this out because it might be just as good if not better. It's a really fast mosh pit and you can keep getting it over and over again, the same map. So definitely worth a try for that. It won't be in the game too long, so make use of it while it's in the game before they take it away again and everyone's begging for it to come back, because I imagine this will basically be like the new shipment, Nuketown, shoot house, whatever you want to call it. In terms of combat pacing, I'm sure you guys will have heard of this possibly by now, but basically this is a setting in the game new to Vanguard and it determines how many players are in a match. So there's 3 options: tactical, assault and blitz. Tactical means you have the least amount of players, assault means you have a medium number of players in the match, and blitz means you have the most number of players. Assault and blitz are great, especially as you get lots of enemies running around and therefore, you know, acting as lots of easy point blank kills. But a lot of the maps in the game are quite large, so obviously you want to avoid the tactical setting, as otherwise if you do this you won't see many other players and therefore it's difficult to get close to the enemies. But given that you'll mainly probably be playing free-for-all, blitz will be most likely to be best most of the time to get the max number of players on the map and to get the max number of kills. But if you find this too hectic, feel free to switch to assault, that's fine, but I would definitely recommend trying to go for blitz because you've got to get close to enemies for this camo challenge. And just accept, guys, as well that you will be dying a lot when you get close to enemies sometimes, because they'll kill you just before you do sometimes, and the next time it'll be the other way around. So you just got to accept you might die quite a few times, more than normal, which can be frustrating. But in terms of the maps, you obviously want to go on to smaller ones or ones with lots of close encounter spaces. So these would be ones like Castle, Das Haus, Decoy, Dome, Hotel Royale, Sub-Pens and Tuscan. Those are the kind of the main ones in the game that are really good for getting point blank medals. I'm not sure if this is just luck, but when I was going for them, one of the best maps that seemed to keep coming up time and time again was Dome. It was really good. There's lots of good spaces on it for getting point blank medals, so that's really good. Obviously Das Haus is really good as well. It's a small map like Shipment, Shoot House and Nuketown, so definitely make use of that. That's really good. You're very close to people at all times anyway, so it's difficult to find someone that isn't that far away from you. But obviously the other ones can be good too, like Tuscan and Sub-Pens and so on. But yeah, those are kind of the best maps in the game to go for. Now let's talk about the class setup, and then we'll talk about some quick tips at the end of the video to help you get the point blank medals even faster. So for the attachments in your class setup, generally you want attachments that will increase your recoil, control and accuracy, increase movement speed, aim to sight speed and sprint to fire speed, increase hip fire accuracy, that kind of thing. And obviously you generally need to tailor these attachments to whatever weapon you're using. As an example class setup, I was using the STG-44 assault rifle, and these were the attachments I put on. So I put on the MX silencer for the muzzle, the VDD 320mm 02B barrel, the slate reflector optic or something similar like that, something nice and simple. Removed stock so that you're a bit more lightweight, the sleight of hand proficiency, the fully loaded kit, the pine tar rear grip, and the 7.62 Gorenko 30 round mags, as well as the subsonic ammo type and the SMLE pistol grip for the underbarrel, which increases the sprint to fire speed and hip fire accuracy. For the equipment, I'd put on the number 69 stun grenade or a stim shot, just so you can either stun enemies or you can heal yourself in a gunfight. The lethal I would ignore, because obviously that will take away from the kills you can get with your weapon. And then for the foot upgrade, I'd put on dead silence, which temporarily makes your footsteps silent and makes you undetectable by spy planes, enemy intel, and field mics. For the perks, this is a very important part of the class setup, and what I'd recommend putting on is Ninja in perk 1, which allows you to move silently, take reduced damage when falling, reduces the effectiveness of enemy tracker perks, but the main thing is obviously you move silently so enemies can't hear you. For the second perk, you want to put on tracker so that enemies leave behind a footprint trail, and in perk 3 you want to put on lightweight so that you increase your movement speed and you can run towards the enemies faster. Obviously all of these 3 perks are really good because they get you up and close with the enemy without them realizing, so you can be at a point blank kill range from the enemy when getting the kill. For the kill streaks, you want to put on intel, spy plane, and local informants. These are all great for finding where enemies are and getting close to them and getting point blank kills. They're tactical kill streaks, so they help you find enemies, but they don't actually get kills. Again, that can take away from weapon kills, so don't use lethal kill streaks. And as always, feel free to mix and match the attachments or any kind of class setup aspects that you want to adjust it to your needs or your playstyle. Finally, let's talk about the best tips for getting point blank kills. So you often want to aim down sight as soon as you see an enemy that's fairly close to you, or if going around a corner and expecting an enemy. However, if you're very close to an enemy and it may take too long to aim down sight and focus on the enemy, you can always just hip fire at them instead if close enough, as this way you're more likely to kill them quickly. So basically not aiming down sight, as this would slow down time to kill them and you're more likely to die. You also want to try and flank around the edges of the map and pick off one enemy at a time. And you can also linger around high flow areas, for example objective points if you're playing objective game modes, but obviously I'm suggesting probably not to, but if you were, things like hard points or dom flags if playing these modes. But even if you're not playing objective modes, if you're playing free for all, whatever, you can hide behind objects, doorways, walk along narrow corridors, etc., and wait for people to come past. Often you'll find yourself running into a lot of enemies, so just try and get yourself as close as you can and then hit fire like mad. You obviously want to reload before entering gunfights, as you're more likely to survive and get more kills. You want to be aggressive, push up to the enemy as much as possible, and either try to stay as close to them while constantly firing, or shoot them a bit to reduce their health and then get close to finish them off. It's up to you. I think finally, sliding up to enemies can work great, especially if you're chasing them from behind and they haven't noticed you, because sliding will give you a temporary speed boost, and this allows you to quickly get close to them at a point blank range to kind of get you as close as you can be to quickly shoot them in the back or in the legs or whatever, and then hopefully they die and get the point blank. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Hopefully after watching this, point blanks will be a lot easier to get in Vanguard for getting those camo challenges done. And if you found the video useful, be sure to leave a like on the video, it really helps me out, and feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on by clicking the bell icon to stay up to date with all my latest Vanguard and Warzone videos. Like I say, feel free to check out any other camo challenges or weapon leveling up videos or any other guides for Vanguard. They'll all be on my channel. I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.